Alright, cocksuckers, welcome back to Practicing Fundamentals a la the artwod roadmap, right? Beginner roadmap. Link in description. I'm not affiliated, but one day they will recognize that I deserve all their money. In fact, they should transfer ownership over from Antonio to me. Because obviously I'm the one doing the work and he's just teaching. What a fucking waste, man. But anyways, yes, draw along. Today we're doing multiple rounding. The grind node, which is just exercises. We're doing not multiple, what the fuck am I saying? Single rounding, right? The goal for this one is I'm going to start building the skill of actually retaining and remembering and memorizing the shapes that I create. Um, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult. The application will be subpar at best. And that's the beautiful part of it. So come on, stop being lazy. Get your fucking pen. Let's draw along. Or keep me on the background as you draw along. Or just watch my video and draw along. Either way, actually draw. That's the whole point. I've realized that apart from just this channel being a repository of my journey to greatness, I need to encourage all you pieces of shits who believe that you can do it, that you can. Because look, I'm doing it right now. Right? And I'm no different than you, just much better looking, have a bigger dick, and perhaps soon enough will own many, many, many women's hearts because of how kind and considerate I am towards their ability to create. So, with that being said, let's start. Draw along, you piece of shit. Alright, I'm still practicing trying to create unique shapes, right? And that's something I have to keep in mind. So, we should probably have a little bit of nuance, right? Something like that. And then a diagonal, right? Diagonal rounding. Bring it here, bring it here. You see, again, like this is very difficult for my hand. Like that angle, holy shit. You see all the jiggling that was going on? It's quite the jiggle. This is already incorrect over here, but it's okay. I wanted to do something like this, right? Because we do want to, again, have some diversity. DEI, that's the name of the game. That's probably why YouTube will never ban me for anything that I do or say. Because, you see right here? You see the lack of hair? That, my friend, is diversity. Also the excess melanin, but still. Okay, and then we're just gonna go across like that. Bring this fucker down. It's already diverging, which is wonderful. The lines could obviously use some work. And we'll do something like this. Again, I'm always constantly trying to think about the perspective grid that this is a part of. Because they are all parts of perspective grids. Right? This is all just one giant grid that I'm slowly molding to my liking. Even though, yes, I did make a giant mistake with the diverging here. Right? That's a huge mistake. But if I didn't make that mistake, I would have made another one. So that's the wonderful part about learning, is you're always making mistakes. You're just trying your absolute best, like I am right here, to focus on not making that mistake, right? And that's actually how you learn. You focus on not doing the mistake to the best of your ability, but you look forward to the fact that you will make many, many, many mistakes, right? And that's how we practice. Okay, I have to remember that I will be working on memorizing this shape, right? So we can't make it too complicated. But with that being said, I'm gonna fucking complicate it up my asshole anyways. There you go. Just something like that. Relatively simple, even though I messed it up a little. Okay. Still diverging, which is something I need to fix, right? And then it just comes down here. We don't really see much of this. Yeah, we don't really see the back part at all, actually, if I think about it. Because it's just... yeah, it's actually perfectly hidden. So there you go. That's my really, really interesting shape. Now I have to remember this and apply it again. So, oof, that's gonna be very difficult. I'm gonna try my best not to look at this. Obviously, it's fucking glaring and it's just staring at me. But apart from the bars that I just spit, let's see. Well, I do have to look at it to rotate it first. But let's see, how do I want to rotate this? Okay, we could have it something like this. Okay. And I believe, yeah, okay. So it's incredibly difficult to draw something from memory. And that's the best part, is that it's incredibly difficult to draw something from memory. If it wasn't difficult, it wouldn't be worth doing. I want anybody who's listening or drawing along to remember that, as they also experience their own unique difficulties in whatever they decide to draw. Oh, by the way, you don't have to make yours as intense as this, right? Yours just can be a simple single rounding. It's the goal isn't to make it intense to the degree that I'm doing it. The goal is just to face discomfort, right? Okay, so I think proportion-wise, I should have something like, yeah, there you go. Like that. This might actually end up being a bit smaller than I intended. And I think I already messed up the diagonal that's there, but this is the best part, is the fact that honestly it's not bad considering I don't know what I'm even drawing right now. I'm literally just trying to recall. Something like this, right? Then I went diagonal and brought it down. And it's not that big either, I don't think. Something like that. And then it is long, I believe. Right? But again, I could be mistaken. Let's see. Did I do it? Kind of. This is incorrect. Okay, so this one was jutting out and then going down. So I turned this into a diagonal. That's incorrect. This is pretty okay, but it's obviously a bit off center. Okay, so this one was a bit longer here when I diagonalized it. Overall, not bad. Not bad at all, actually, considering I had to do it from memory. Holy shit, not bad at all. Okay, cool, we'll do one more. Okay, wonderful. You see, sometimes you can surprise yourself. In this case, I'm elated. So, there you go. And I've also become the master of being baited. Oh, that's fucking shit joke. Anyways. Yeah, and these are uneven. I see that now. The length of these two is uneven. Still could obviously work on the rounding, and I'm trying my best, but apparently it's not enough. And this is too thick. It's too thick. We have to go back to the 90s. We need that cocaine thinness. But let's see. Is there anything else that's slightly misaligned? That's okay. But yeah, this is slightly misaligned. Cool. Okay, let's do it again. Let me try to rotate it again. Looking at this, of course. Let me rotate it in my mind. Okay, I think I got it. Maybe this is gonna end up being too long. But we'll see. That might have been a bit too much. Yeah, this is already, I can tell in my mind that this is not enough space. Oh shit, I looked at that one by accident. Sorry. Okay, we gotta think about what the middle of this is, so that would be around that. And then, okay, that's the shape, I believe. Cool. Can't be too long, right? Honestly, I'm very impressed with myself and the fact that I'm able to do this relatively decently off memory. But hey, this is what Kim Jong-il did, right? This is literally what he did. This is what anybody who can draw, who has a visual library, this is how they approach it, relatively speaking, I'm pretty sure. And that they just try to understand the general shapes of what they drew. Kim Jong-il just took it to the quote-unquote next level by being able to memorize the shapes very, very, very well. And I say just, again, it's not just that he was able to do that. He did it to an extreme degree of proficiency. But again, my belief is if he was able to do it, then there must be a way for anybody else to be able to do it. Okay, now we can see this is way, way further away, because this should have been much closer. That would have been in the middle. So there you go. That's a misalignment right there. And then, again, we have this shape, which I've already misaligned. I think it goes outward. Yeah, it goes outward. That, and then it comes in, right? It's not that large of a shape. It's very difficult because I'm trying to not only memorize what I'm drawing right now, relatively speaking. Okay, so that I also kind of fucked it up. But I'm also trying to keep this entire grid in mind. Let's see how we did there. Okay, so this was, again, it was too long, but this was the actual right type of shape. It was just too long. This was supposed to be much longer. This is the height of this was supposed to be much longer, right? Okay, wonderful. That's some good shit. Yeah, but I need to make these shapes more hard surface-ish. Again, I've been looking at a lot of examples, and by a lot, I mean I spent like fucking 10 minutes before this video, or before this practice, trying to understand. So, yeah, what I need to do is, okay, so, I mean, this is good. This is actually amazing, because I created this, but just this way, but it's the other way. So, the orientation was incorrect, or the length and width was incorrect. So that means here must have been, this is actually a bit more correct, but even then, this could have been a bit thinner, right? Cool. Wonderful. I'm gonna rest my brain. That was really fun. Trying to memorize and apply. That's fucking really, really fun. So, yes, please rest your brain alongside with me. Oh, I got a very friendly comment yesterday. So after bitching about that one guy who gave a bit of fair criticism, but also said some retarded shit like don't make things difficult for yourself if you're a beginner. This is fucking horrible advice for any skill, not just art, by the way. Absolutely horrendous advice. He's basically saying stay within your comfort zone, know your place, know your lane. What the fuck? How the fuck am I supposed to stay where I am and get better? Dipshit. But anyways, I'm done. I moved on. It didn't affect me. I'm good now. I have completely stable sound. Right? Wait, what is it? Mentally sound. and stable of mind. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Anyways, my absolute inability to be coherent aside, somebody commented on my latest video, the one where what is it? It was the beginner roadmap, one of the parts, because obviously I'm like fucking weeks ahead. But it was the one where I do the cylinders in 2-point perspective, and the thumbnail is I can do it always. I will never give up. Right? If people who pay attention to my thumbnails sequentially know that, like, they kind of relate sometimes. So the one before this was I can't do it, I give up, and then the next one was, or some shit like, yeah, the next one is I can do it always, I will never give up. Whatever. It's funny to me. Fuck you. But this person commented saying I'm new to the channel. Just wanted to say and I want to confidently say that you are super underrated. Right? Like, and he's like, yeah, become the best in the world. Woo! So there you go. Someone who believes in me. And now I feel even better. Now I have a happiness boner rather than a rage one. But with that being said, let's draw the next shape. Right? I'm glad this took time. Like, this whole memory thing. I'm really, really, really happy that it's difficult. Okay, we did one from above, so we'll do another one from below. Yeah, just try to vary the shapes a little. Right? And you can see how straight my lines are from when I use this pen. But that's the beauty of it, is I don't use this pen. Okay, that was a horrible example. But that's the beauty of it, is the fact that I literally don't use this pen. You know? But because I very strictly use the brush pen, it transfers over, you know? But yeah, and this isn't a perfect box either, right? This is converging too fast. They're gonna meet, but this is basically parallel, right? Tyrion Holtet, i.e. Broken Draw, actually had a stream yesterday where he was just practicing the basics. It's a good reminder for everyone to practice the basics, to be honest. Here I'm gonna try something very, very subtle. It might bite me in the ass, but that's the whole point. That's one spot that I haven't been bit yet. So see, a very small single rounding, because that's actually what I notice a lot in hard surface or product designs that I've been looking at. They have like little additions like that, right? And then they'll have like a cutout. So funny enough, this one's probably going to be more of a practice for my line quality, as you can see. Than just my hard surface abilities, or like just the single rounding, right? But let's see. And then what can I do here? Because I need to memorize this. That's the beauty of this. I need to memorize this. Right, so we could have something like, not that this is perfect by any means, but the point is that I was trying to make 3 even ones. But again, I'm trying to find that balance between doing it fast but also thinking ahead, right? And sometimes it's going to be difficult. Here I did it a bit faster, or much faster than I usually would, but it was hard to approximate the equal distance needed for each line, right? I want to add something else over here. I could just add a diagonal. Right, and this will get me thinking about space as well. In terms of where things are related to each other. We'll make this one really thin as well. Again, a great way to practice my line work. There you go, that's it. And you see, that already kind of looks more sci-fi-ish, right? Just a little bit more. And again, these are design languages that have always obviously been implemented in media that we've seen. So that's the funny thing, is like the sci-fi language I am creating is being perpetuated by the sci-fi language that has already been established to be efficient from history, right? 80s, 90s, whatever, Star Trek, concept design, fucking even anything that comes out that's sci-fi related, right? It looks hard surfacey to us because it's been established as that sort of atmosphere prior. So let me analyze this to the best of my ability, right? We'll do a little bit of analyzing. And okay, so I got this shape here, that shape there. Okay, and now I'm gonna rotate it. Right, so let's do something like this. I've already kind of fucked it up a little, I know that much, because this is way too big. Way too big, but it's okay. This is how we learn, right? Cool. But yeah, that's too wide and not long enough. But this is the beautiful part about, I guess, memory, is that I'm trying not to look at that, by the way, but it's kind of difficult because it's fucking right there. But did it go over? I don't know if it did. Right. I do know it was long. I definitely know that it was long. Maybe I actually didn't make it long enough. And then I think there was, yeah, like it went over the hard, the rounded spot. And then that's obviously a poor rounding, and then connects there. Right, this is, if I'm trying not to look at it, but it's literally right fucking there, Jesus Christ. I'm trying not to look at it, but the little diagonal thing I have, maybe? Hold up, let me finish this first. Oh, by the way, let me just correct myself now, because I don't want to make any more of a fool of myself. But a few videos or episodes or whatever the fuck you want to call it ago, I said I was learning, that was a mistake. I said I was learning waltz. I said I was learning waltz in C minor by fucking Mozart. That was completely inaccurate. I'm learning waltz in A minor by Clementi. So yeah, that's a fuck up on my end completely. Okay. But okay, I'm looking at this shape now. So yeah, I fucked it up. That was way too short, way too fucking short, which is wonderful. But at least I got this general idea down, even though these could have been better, right? Trying to think about the grid. But since I am on the opposite end, we have to kind of think about, okay, where is, there you go. You can only see it slightly from this angle. Cool. Let's do it again. Fuck, I love doing this thing from memory. The fact that I'm not fully relying on the reference, I'm really trying not to look at it, is actually a great, I don't know how the fuck I'm actually, I did this. I actually am confused as to how I'm able to do this better than I expected, but it might just be purely because I'm focusing on that. And again, my brain has offset a lot of responsibility from the act of rounding and creating clean lines because I've been really focusing on that, right? So while I'm still focusing on it, I'm using less mental energy to achieve the relative same result. So now, the remaining mental energy that was prior being used towards just creating the shapes and the rounding and making sure to see the grid is now being allocated towards retaining the shape and applying it via memory in a different rotated state. I hope that makes sense. But really, guys, learning anything, but in this case art, is just about using certain amount of mental energy towards a particular skill or a particular set of skills. And then once your brain acclimates and that energy that's being used towards that results in an improved measure of that skill, you have the liberty to use less energy for the same result, if not a better result, and then allocate the remaining energy that would have been used for that result towards an additional skill now that you are aiming to practice. I hope that makes sense. I think that makes sense. You might be retarded if that doesn't make sense, but anyways. Okay. Okay, how do I want to rotate this now? Okay, let's see. Well, we could just rotate it a little bit, but do I want to rotate it a little bit? I actually want to think about this. Oh god. Ooh, there you go. That was holding me back. I'm back. I'm at 100%. Wonderful. But let's think. Lettuce, tomato. Apparently, it's been discovered and confirmed that potatoes are 30% tomatoes, and potatoes are actually they're inherited from, or what is it? Their ancestor is tomatoes. So something to do with the Andes and rapid shift in environment causing forced evolution, some shit like that. I'm fucking explaining it horribly. My friend was telling me about this, very interesting. But the point is, let me rotate this. The point is tomatoes and potatoes, or what is it? When you say tomato, tomato, or potato, potato, you're basically saying the same word over and over, which is incredible. How life finds a way. Okay, this is that was unintentional, my own little uhs. I guess we could have it on both sides. It doesn't really hurt. But let me think. Okay, let's try to not look at the reference again. This time make it a lot longer. That was an incorrect rounding. That was a bit better. That was okay. Over there, let's just complete this. I get comments every now and then during my streams that, wow, how are you able to do this with just pen? Well, I think it's very obvious what I'm about to say. Practice. Practice, intention. I don't know what to say to those comments. Like, how are you able to do this thing? It's like, how the fuck did you, how are you able to walk? Because as a child, you walked and you practiced and you stumbled, right? For weeks or so on end. So why would the same not be applicable to this? The answer to that is that it is applicable. It's very difficult, don't get me wrong. Actually, I think this is in the right perspective. Because again, grid. Oh, it's all about the grid. But yeah, guys, and again, don't forget, I went out of my way. The biggest thing I realized is it is important to make things difficult for yourself. So again, I only ever practice with pen. I literally don't use pencil, not because I don't want to, but because being proficient with this tool will make me, years down the line, proficient with other tools and have the liberty to not think about the fine motor skills involved with using that tool, but more so just the creative application of that tool itself, right? So, oh shit, I looked at the fucking note, my bad. That's the way I like to think about it, is it's less so about, wow, I can do this thing with this tool, but it's just, okay, well, I'm intentionally making things difficult for myself so things are easier down the line, if that makes sense. I think it curves on the bottom here, so it's gonna be something like this. Right? Because there you go. Again, these lines aren't perfect, but that's the best part, is that they're not perfect. Kind of converged it way too much over there, and see, I'm getting better. Even though I didn't see this, I sort of understood that this needs to converge, or like this rounding needs to occur. Let's see how it looks. Oh, well, okay. Now we have another mistake. I forgot that this thing goes across the entire space. And I actually thought it was on the bottom, but it's not. It's at the top. So that's another mistake, right? You remember one thing, but then you forget another, right? Which is beautiful. So yeah, that's pretty good. That's and this was more in the middle than in the front. So I thought it was in the front there as well, like that little thing that doesn't really make a difference if you see it or not. But okay, cool. All right, and I'm pretty sure this is slightly off perspective if I were to put it in the grid itself. Yeah, I think it's slightly off perspective, but it's still decent enough. Yeah, but that's definitely a mistake. Wonderful. Okay, let me rest my brain, and I encourage you to do the same. Bars, bars, bars. I need a new way to not be alive. So, anyways. But yeah, in regards to what I was saying earlier about essentially, hold up, let me drink some water. Essentially about the fact that you're allocating brain energy, right? Well, again, energy is the great equalizer and the most important thing that you need. It's why, apart from just the art and all that shit, I advocate exercise like resistance training, lifting, because muscle actually requires excess energy, and muscle actually improves and increases the amount of energy that you can use. But any sort of exercise does that as well. But resistance training is something I'm obviously going to be a bit biased towards. But either way, why I say this is because, and I've learned and read and seen similar anecdotes, and it's literally just how it works. Is when you're starting to learn something, you only have so much brain energy. In general, when you're learning anything, like when you are in any stage of any learning process, your brain can only allocate a lot of energy towards a few things at a time. So when you start out, right, if we're going to purely talk about fundamentals, which is art, right, if we're just talking about learning art, when we're starting out with learning art, we are usually just thinking about line. Like this right here, this is super difficult. This clean-ish line right here, that's basically a fucking headache waiting to happen, right? Same with like now perspective too. Let's say you're trying to draw a box. This line, let's say that's 30% of your energy. Just trying to maintain a clean line in this direction, any direction that you do, right? Just the hand-eye coordination, the proprioception that you're focusing on, which is the awareness of yourself in space, right? The awareness of this hand and the way it holds the pen in space, like in relation to the space that occupies. Right? So one thing, proprioception, line quality, just keeping everything in mind. That's like 35% of your brain energy right there. Then you also have to think about vanishing point, right? Also extremely difficult. And that's like another 40% of your brain energy right there. So there you see, you're already at 70% of your brain is being used just to create this plane, right? That is all your brain can handle, those two things. The third thing may be being proportion, right? Or I'd say the third thing is actually the application while thinking about all those things. So there you go. You're using another 30% just to apply it while thinking about these things, right? That is extremely difficult. But given, enough intentional repetitions and consistently striving and straining to think about these things, your brain will allocate more energy towards strengthening the neurons, the synaptic cleft, whatever. The point is, your brain spends excess energy because it realizes that you need to actually focus and be able to do these actions more efficiently, right? Which is where neuroplasticity and the strengthening of your neurons and all that shit comes into play, right? I'm not a scientist, I'm a bro scientist. Read up on it if you want more specifics. But the point is, this is already difficult as it is. But once this gets easier, now you can spend equal amount of brain energy thinking about rounding, right? Okay, there's this point and there's this point. And we're trying to round that. We're trying to round it consistently. We're trying to make like what I'm doing right now, right? That's like another fucking 10, 20, 30, whatever hours, right? And also equivalent amount of brain energy. And then you're like, okay, well, rounding is easier. And those are the few things you're thinking about, right? Like we're just connecting this, keeping the line smooth, right? Making sure that it's even and it follows the logic from here, these connections being parallel with this and this connection, right? All that shit. And then you're kind of where I am, where it's like, okay, let's start making interesting designs out of that, right? Which is another whole brain energy thing right there, because my brain is focused a lot and rotating, right? My brain is focusing a lot on A, creating something that's quote unquote novel, unique, and then B, rotating it and memorizing it, right? Again, like that relative 30-40 split consistently between 2 to 3 things. So that is how learning works. But the great equalizer is intentional repetitions, Copious amounts of intentional repetitions. That is the great equalizer, right? That's why you need your brain to be alive, and that's why you need to sleep. That's why you need to eat well, get your fucking protein, right? Do some sort of exercise consistently, at least 3 days a week for 20, 30 minutes. Because you'll notice the healthier the artist, the healthier their habits, and the healthier their habits, the more proficient they are in their craft. I think I'm becoming living proof of that, and I will be living proof of that 5-10 years from now when you all realize that the shit I'm saying holds up, right? So it's a long-term game. All right, what the fuck? See, I don't know, like, what shape do I want to make? What have I seen? What have I seen? That's another thing. I'm trying to recall the things that I've vaguely analyzed through hard surface. Right, okay, so that was one thing. I could do something, oh, this is something unique I could do. I could have a small rounding there, and then a large rounding here. And then this is a hard edge. Right, we'll still have a little small rounding there. So we have large rounding, small rounding, even though I fucked it up here. Right, which is good. You also want to derive pleasure from the fuck-ups. Oh, and then we can have a diagonal. Great. Right, something like... There you go. Something like that. See? But that's not enough. This is hard surface-ish. But I want something more. That's where this comes into play, right? We can have... Again, don't forget that I'm still thinking about the rounding. Right, so that's still something that's very difficult for me to consistently think about. And you see perspective gets lost, line quality gets affected. Right? Very affected. Very affected. So there we go. We have the shape. Ends right around there. And then we can think about it's slightly misaligned, but there you go. I wanted to do more, but maybe that's enough. Maybe I could just do something like this as well. Right. This will help me orient the shape in perspective. But you see, so many mistakes will continue to occur. Just because I'm getting slightly better doesn't mean I won't have moments like these. Because the next step here is the fact that I'm trying to create these lines continuously. You notice how I'm not doing little breaks like I was initially, right? That's also very difficult. Now I have to think about the logic behind this as well. Because maybe this shape doesn't even make sense. It's connected like that, and then I open it up. Yeah, if I open it up. Oh, okay, I see what I've done. Oh, this is gonna be really fun to try and rotate. With this, I don't know if I'll be able to do this from memory, I'll be honest. I may need to spend one rotation at the very least, understanding what I've done, right? Because this is actually pretty complex. So yeah, I will do that. For this one, I'll do at least one rotation, not from memory. Okay. There you go. Jesus. That's why you have to stay hydrated, everybody, so you can burp like me. But shit joke aside, just trying to think. My family's home, so that's distracting me, but we still have 20 minutes of lots of artwork, and all this empty space to fill out, right? So, okay, so what is this shape? Okay, so I do have something like this, right? And then this is a very, there you go. And then it comes back around like a small one, right? And then here is also a small one. Okay. Trying to think how that would even make sense. This is just straight. Yo, the thing with my family is I can never tell if they're fucking talking or yelling. It's very distracting. Like, incredibly distracting. I wonder if anybody can relate. Because it's always a 50-50 for me, right? Are they having a nice, friendly conversation, or are they at each other's throats? I think they might just be talking about random shit, to be honest. But I can't tell. I can't tell. Okay. Okay, well, at the very least, I know that this... I think I actually fucked this up a little. I'm trying to think where I messed up. No, I don't think I fucked it up, actually. If I just keep... It's this gap right here, right? This is actually very difficult to rotate. So I know that this is something that's... It's going through here, right? So I will just do something like this for the time being. There you go. Right, and then it's connecting like so. Okay, so I haven't fucked it up fully yet. Yeah, I don't know how the fuck I was gonna do this shape from memory because I'm already struggling doing it as it is. Right? Great way to practice spatial reasoning. This is too long. I'm taking that in now. These are way too long. So let's be shorter. Just fine. I know for a fact that nothing changes with this shape. I know that this one will have the diagonal, right? And this one will also... Okay, wait. Before I just start drawing shit for no fucking reason, let's try to think. So like that? No, I think this should have connected back here. That's the intent I was trying to do. Yeah, I should have connected back there like that. That's a very difficult shape to... Especially because I didn't figure out the logic in and of itself while I was doing it. So that's very difficult. Let's actually draw it from the back. Right? Okay, specifically, how do I want to draw it from the back? Can't just fucking do it. Okay, something like... There you go. Right. And then... think from the back it would still be, this would still be there. Right, I still think this, that hard edge, everything would still be there. But it's just about trying to understand. Again, this is too big compared to that, so that's another mistake. I'm just trying to figure out the logic, the logic of the shape. So, let's see. You see, this episode, or why the fuck do I keep calling it an episode? This practice is clearly going a lot slower. And that's okay. That's completely fine, right? Because I'm thinking. That's the main thing, is we want to be thinking. So we can confidently say that this exists, right? We can confidently say that. Something like that. The big thing is just how these shapes connect, to be honest. Okay, so that's obviously incorrect. But do you see, actually the alignment is getting better. Slowly but surely, the alignment is getting better. That's too big, obviously, but just trying to think. Because okay, that was obviously incorrect, but overall, it's not bad. There you go, something like that. Interesting. Well, I definitely couldn't rotate that shit in my mind from memory, but that was still a really good practice. But that shape, this level of complicated shape is clearly, genuinely not outside my comfort zone, but at the cusp of it, right? In terms of pushing it, so that's good. We can keep trying to do some things adjacent to, I don't know why I'm wiggling my hand, but we could try doing things adjacent to this. Anyways, I'm going to rest my brain and then, yeah, I guess why the fuck am I this fucking thing that I said in the beginning of my intro video, I want to get better at speaking, is clearly going to absolute shit. But I have too many things to think about. But what I'm trying to say is, slow down my speech. I should not be so focused on trying to fill up the page for the purpose of an aesthetic thumbnail on YouTube. It's funny that you're probably like, what the fuck, I didn't even think he was thinking about that. Well, I am, goddammit, the internet gets to me too. So I should just draw what I draw, and then I fill up what I fill up, right? Because that's where the learning happens. So with that inner reflection having been outed in the open reflection, I'm just gonna rest my brain. I'm gonna stop talking. Anyways, it's fucking killed me. Oh. Okay, cool. But yeah, I think I'm gonna continue drawing kind of unorthodox shapes like these, because I mean, I do feel as if I got a bit better at the end. Didn't take as long, but having these micro adjustments in the, what's it called, in the type of rounding, whether it's a single rounding or whether it's a very strong single rounding or not, I think it's a great way to reinforce what I know. Right? There you go. And yeah, you see, because I focus so much on just understanding the grid and the perspective, this is basically more of a perfect box than the other ones, right? This is similar to what Tyrion was streaming. Actually, he didn't even fucking upload that stream, which is painful because he shouted me out and he was like, hey man, everybody watch this guy. And I was like, he didn't say that. He actually specifically said, watch him if you want. And I was like, why? Why are you giving them the choice? This way they won't subscribe. Painful broken draw. Bro can draw, but bro definitely can't promote my channel. Anyways. Okay, don't mind me. Okay, unorthodox shapes, right? So let's try something like, oh, I do like having these little cutouts. Okay. It is difficult to think of something unique. Guess that'll be a bit more of a subtle one. There you go. I could actually do something like this. Who says it has to all be multiple rounding, right? Then we can put it over like that. This kind of looks like a console now. That was a mistake. That line was way too thick. Difficult to align that. A bit too much happening there. And I think the lines are slowly getting better for sure. I say that as I create an extremely thick line. It's always about the balance. Cool. That's hard surface-ish, right? Hard surface, not hard surface. Yeah, but let me just add one more thing, I guess. There you go. Just something to reinforce. A, working on clean lines, and B, just the hard surface nature of it all. So let me analyze this shape, because this is going to be difficult, right? So let me analyzing very much so. This should have been more rounded. That's a mistake. This is too rounded, or it's not round. Yeah, this is not rounded enough. It's supposed to be going a bit more drastic, and then down, and then curved in. Cool. It's a difficult shape to think about. Okay, let me try. So I got this going on here. Okay, let me try. Okay, something like this, right? Right, and then it comes down, and then it's a slight rounding. Comes down. Slight rounding. Something like that. That's not even the angle I was aiming for, but actually no, that was the angle I was aiming for. I just didn't think about it as much as I should have. And then we have this. Hopefully that's not too large. Right? And then we bring it again. This is actually, I think the shape in general that I made is a bit ill-proportioned, but it's okay. This is how we learn. See how poor that line was? It's because I don't have generational wealth. Oh shit, I looked at it by accident. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Is it really an accident, or was it just a subconscious reflex that I gave into? See, now that was horrendous too. But it's okay, because I'm practicing that, right? I'm telling myself I feel good. I'm fucking gaslighting myself so hard right now. Oh yeah, that was amazing. Ooh-wee. I'm glad I chose this angle, genuinely though. This is a very difficult... You see the angle in which I'm creating this line? And how my thumb is pushing out like so? That has consistently been the most difficult angle and position for me to draw in. Consistently. So, it's good. It's a good thing that I struggle with this. Because otherwise, it would all be sunshine and rainbows, and that's not art. That is not art. Not to say that this is like the dramatic, oh, woe is me, I'm a fucking depressed artist who's just struggling stereotype. But no, like, you need to struggle. Yeah, so see, that's much cleaner. This is not clean at all. Needs to be longer. This was too large. Both of these were too large. It's not even the fact that it's too large, it's too wide. This is where we should have had the cutoff for more accurate proportions, and this is where we should have had it extended to for more accurate proportions. You see, that would have made a huge difference. But hey, at least I'm understanding the shape, right? So, how much time do I have left? 56 minutes? I mean, no, 56 minutes have elapsed. So, let me try drawing this shape again from memory, of course. Try not to look too much at what's already been created. But okay, wait, shit. I need to stop looking at it. I'm getting a call. What is this call from? Wellington City. I fucking knew it. I knew the goddamn social workers would call me while I was drawing. You pieces of shits. Every goddamn time this happens. Okay, no, I'm gonna ignore that shit, and I'm gonna call them back afterwards. Waste men. Just assuming I have nothing to do because I'm broke, jobless, and living off government money, you cunts. But let's do that again. Okay, we need a different angle. I want an angle that actually showcases the bottom. Yeah, so let's do something like this. Okay, so first we need right. Okay, and then again. Something like that, right? There you go. Well, that was the incorrect angle, but whatever. And then we can have something like that, right? Because I am trying to capture the other side. Now this could very well be incorrect, of course. It could always be incorrect. But something like this. Oh, well, that line is wrong. Something, no wait, that was off. Holy shit, that was off. Okay, well, I fucked it up a little bit, but looking, I mean, the proportions are still off. This could have been a lot longer, but I would assume that's what the bottom is like, right? Although it probably should have been cut off. Probably actually should have a line right there. Okay, there's a couple things that are off about this. Not bad though, not bad when it comes to drawing from memory. Slowly but surely. So clearly I struggle with cutouts, right? And remembering cutouts and rotating cutouts. And proportion is obviously still an issue, but it's okay. It's been an hour. Maybe I did a bit more talking than drawing this session, but I was still thinking as much as I could. So I think I will call it here. I'll be back literally half an hour from now, obviously. So it's not even that big of a deal. But let me call this fucking social worker back, and then I'm gonna rest my brain. We'll see how everything goes. How everything goes. All right, wonderful. I hope you all had fun. Hope you drew, blah, blah, blah. I mean, not blah, blah, blah. I genuinely hope you had fun drawing, putting in effort, right? You can do it. If you even did a little bit, that's decent, but you should do more. Be like me. So yeah, I hope you had fun. With that being said, as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please give me the money. Thank you.